Om Yatha Nadya Sandamanaha Samudre Astangachanti Namarupe Vihayo Tatha Vidvana Namarupat Vimukta Parat Param Purushang Paiti Divyam. As the different streams having their sources in different places all mingle their water in the sea, so, O Lord, the different paths which men take through different tendencies, various though they appear, crooked or straight, all lead to Thee. Om, peace, peace, peace. Today, our topic is Vivekananda and Interfaith movement. This is the month of September. So 9/11 reminds us of some horrible picture. That's in 1893 there was that Interfaith first parliament movement, which is a historical thing, to stop all these atrocities in the name of religion. All the paths leading to the one realization. All paths lead to the one goal of realization. To know who we are, what is our essential nature. To be grounded on that, all religions are set. Each religion is a path, and it is intended for individual taste and temperament. It is not contradictory. It should not be antagonistic to each other. That it should be very loving journey to reach that infinity. Vedanta teaches that we are all divine, we are all pure. At that story, that we are all lions. It's called the Singha, no? A lion, a cab was brought up into the environment of the goats, sheep, and the tiger, the calf, started bleating like the goat, like the sheep. And we are like that. We are all like sheep. And we are crying and weeping and dying every day with our little things in life. But we are all, in our essential nature, all pure. And to reach that purity, we are all moving through following different paths. We are all moving towards the same destination. And these scriptures and all these philosophies are to help us, to guide us to that absolute oneness where there is freedom, there is blessedness. If we look at the history, the modern interfaith movement began in the 19th century and early 20th century. Though the seeds of the interfaith dialogue we can find, it can be traced back to the earlier periods in the history when different religions did coexist and engaged in dialogues. We find that early historical examples throughout the history there have been these instances of interfaith dialogue. They used to sit together, interaction between different religious communities. It was very prominent in Indian continent. From old time, prehistoric time, even in the historic time we find that some kings in their courthouse they are asking, inviting different philosophers, different schools of thoughts to come and argue and debate and find out the truth, What is the ultimate truth, relative truth versus ultimate truth. And that was no fight with sword and killing, but it was of understanding the truth. That is the main purpose of interfaith understanding. Interfaith practice is that understanding that we are all destined to go to the one goal, but how to practice in my own way, and how to understand that all paths leading to the same destination should have been the goal. And that was the tradition in earlier background in India. So we find that the religious communities' early roots, it was interaction between the different religious communities in ancient India. We find that it was in Islamic golden age, where scholars of different faiths engaged in dialogue. And we find in medieval Spain, where Jews, Christians, and Muslims coexisted and exchanged their ideas. And the philosophical and spiritual movement, because of this background, is the mystics and philosophers from various traditions like Sufis in the Islam, mystics in Christianity, saints in Hinduism, often emphasized the underlying unity of all religion. They are the real faith movement. There start the faith movement. Those who are religious practitioners, they sit together. They try to understand that what is the background of our all practices, where we are going to, what is the goal of our life. All religion is talking about peace. All religion talking about joy, harmony. And this is the core message. But people forget that core message. They get involved into the doctrines and dogmas and rituals and forms which Swami Vivekananda hated. They are not bad. Doctrines and dogmas, rituals and forms are not bad. It is very good. It is necessary for human growth. But that will be different. But the purpose of that doing that ritual and that form of activity or praying, that may be different. But whom we are calling and where we are destined to go, that is not true. So how to find that underlying principle and be in happiness and joy? We come to religion for what? To find peace. So much suffering and pain in life, we come to the churches and temples and mosques. What purpose? Want to peace, to find harmony, to find joy, and that joy which the world cannot give. That's why we come to religious places. But when that religion forgets the religious ideas, is forgotten, as Swami Vivekananda said, the religion is realization. It's not talk. It is not intellectual debate only. And how you wash your hand, how you lie down, how you prostrate, how you kneel down, and your kneel down is bad, my prostration is good, your hand up is good, my hand down is bad. Is this religion? It has entered into the religious realm like this. And that has created so much of conflict, confusion, killing, butchering, going on all over in the name of religion. So that interfaith dialogue can solve this problem. And actually, this early history, though we find that it was in Vedic time, India is proud, really proud to have thousands of years this tradition. In Vedic time, in the courthouse of the kings used to invite all these sages and saints. Janaka the king is inviting Jaggavalka and others, great saintly people, illumined souls, to come. And he used to, that type of thing is that because they were all gurus and they have their students with them, to maintain them, they need some monetary help, and kings used to support them. So in those days, they used to have a conference room and call all the different realized soul or who are sages and saints. And then they start talking about what is the ultimate. Kasminnu bhagavo jigvigyate sarvamidam vigyatang bhavatiti. That question came there. Is there anything in this diverse universe to find that one, getting which all will be known? Knowing one, can we know everything in the universe? So many sciences are there, so many objects are there. Is there any end of learning? And if I start learning one subject to the other subject to the other subject, life is too short to get even few. But is there any science? Is there any truth behind? But knowing one underlying truth, by knowing that you know everything. That this ancient India continued to think and explore, and so many systems of philosophy. 6 systems of philosophy, but so many subdivisions of it, so many way of thinking, endless paths Hindus practice, right from stone, worshipping stone image, to the highest non-dual absolute Vedantic concept, meditating on the consciousness, absolute, one underlying consciousness everywhere, one absolute bliss everywhere. So that discussion went on, and through the ages it continued, and culmination was with Ramakrishna. Again forgotten, again all the rituals and dogmas and doctrines in Hinduism and in other religions, and here came another revival for the good of the whole world. Ramakrishna came, and he was a living embodiment of interfaith experiences. It's what is interfaith, what is faith tradition is teaching, what is the goal, the faith, what is your faith means about God, what do you think about God? And that understanding he took in his singular life, all the different probabilities, probable paths, all the, right from the lowest type of worship to the highest type of Advaita Vedanta. He took everything and he said, we all reach to the same absolute destination. And that was experienced in modern time. People of modern education came to Ramakrishna and saw in them its harmonious development in a human personality. You are going with a devotional mind, Ramakrishna will be imbued in that devotion. And you will see that as if your ideal, your thought, your concept about God is here living presence of that. You are a Gyani, you are a knower, you are Vedanta study, you are doing Vedanta study. You just go, your mental vibration will catch him and he will be inspired in that spirit. He will stand as a perfect Gyani. Big Sikh devotees are going, they are Guru. They see in Ramakrishna their Guru because he is tuned to that same consciousness. This is the interfaith. It is matter little you are which religion, which tradition, which faith is your faith, but you come to that experience of one understanding of absolute peace and joy. And they saw their ideal, and that ideal immediately goes into trance and experiences. And they feel the presence of the joy and bliss surrounding that entire environment is charged with that spirituality. So that is the revival of the interfaith movement. This whole world needs this understanding that to faith is not faith. My faith is, of course, the best faith. Your faith is not that good. And that is the way all the struggle continuing. And my faith is the right faith, your faith is wrong. So I can go and take your head chopped up because I want to do good to you. And I am the Lord of the universe, I know everything. So this is the point. How a spiritual person can be immoral? How a spiritual person can be brutal? How a spiritual person can live a life of selfishness? People are not looking at that. My religion, I belong to this religion and you belong to this religion. I am powerful physically, I can go and do whatever I like. So that's why interfaith is very much important. And as I said, Ramakrishna lived that life and he demonstrated that. It is really surprising. The modern Keshav Sen went to Ramakrishna, he found his ideal. The highest learning person of the society coming and find that religion is vibrant there. And everyone is viewing Ramakrishna and seeing the same divine expression of bliss and joy. Forget God, forget name, forget form. It's called joy, bliss, peace, harmony, love, compassion. Take these qualities. And that is defined as God and God's contact. So this is the point. Interfaith movement started in the ancient time, in other countries also, as you just read. Then in Golden Age in Islam, different faith traditions were engaged in dialogue. Even in medieval Spain, Jewish, Christian, Muslims, they coexisted and they exchanged their ideas. This idea making understanding each other. And then more understanding comes, then you say, you are also right, you move on your path. That's why Swami Vivekananda's beautiful statement, and the concluding lecture probably on the Chicago address, where he said, do I think, what is the beautiful language? He said that, much has been said of the common grounds of religion, religious unity. I am not going just now to venture my own theory, but if anyone here hopes that this unity will come by the triumph of any one of the religions and the restrictions of the others, to him I say, brother, yours is an impossible hope. Do I wish that the Christian would become a Hindu? God forbid. Do I wish that Hindu or Buddhist would become Christian? God forbid. Each will have their individual characteristic, and let them grow and find that unity of existence, unity of reality. And that was the message given in the Parliament of Religions in 1893. That's the modern movement, which was relived, as I said, in Dakshineshwar by Sri Ramakrishna. And then Vivekananda was given that education by his life and experiences. And Vivekananda did that sadhana, spiritual practice, in different ways. We do not know Vivekananda's sadhana or the spiritual practice in details, because it was not very much known. But we know that he practiced in different paths. Ramakrishna said one time that story, that he was in a Rama mood and he was taking a piece of stick on his shoulder and running around the temple of Kashipur garden house. Rama, 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 Rama. And his eyes were red and this and that. Sri Ramakrishna said, oh, with this little he is so much excited. How many storms has gone through this body. So it is only we came to know one or two such glimpses that Swami Vivekananda's practice, but he has practiced other religions as instructed by Ramakrishna, and he has attained to that extreme experience of nirvikalpa state in every path. So he then came and Ramakrishna entered into Vivekananda. He said, before his leaving, he said, he entered all his spiritual, and he also wrote, Naren will teach. He will teach when he will be ঘরে বাইরে ডাক দিবে. He will be calling, he will be giving a clarion call in home and outside. That means in this country or in the homeland India. Naren শিক্ষা দেবে. And he has given the authority, Naren will teach. And he said, I shall enter into you. That's why Vivekananda says, whatever I say, it is not me, it is the master. And he said, anything I said, if that has created any trouble for anyone, or anything untruth, that is my responsibility, my misunderstanding. And anything good which can bring to the world, it is all Ramakrishna. So we find that Ramakrishna is just a external expression. Internal is Ramakrishna. And Ramakrishna's harmony, actually that has been given into the interfaith movement. We see the Parliament history, if we go through that. In Parliament of World Religion in the 1893, modern interfaith movement is often said to begin with the first Parliament of the World Religion, which was held in 11 September 1893. This event brought together representatives from many world's religions to discuss commonalities and promote mutual understanding. And it was at this event that Swami Vivekananda famously addressed the assembly, emphasizing the harmony of religions. Though this was a world parliament, but its intention was little wrong. Underground intention was that Christianity will be the only all over religion. That was the idea, that though we are saying it is interfaith, and all the people from different religion will come and they will understand there is no parallel to Christianity, so they will attain by becoming, accepting Christian model. But it is left, that's why it is said, in the world parliament, everyone spoke there for their own religion. It is only Vivekananda who spoke for all religions. That is the uniqueness of interfaith movement. Though it is said, different religions have Buddhism, Christianity, and Christianity is different denomination. They are speaking of their own religion, how grand is, how great is, and all this. Not talking about any other religion, but only Vivekananda stand there. He spoke for all religions. And every one religion and every one, that's the famous quote I just stated at the beginning, that Swamiji quoted that in the first Parliament of Religion, that as the streams all run and meet into the ocean, so we are all moving towards that ocean of joy, ocean of bliss, no? Those different streams leading from different points all merge into the ocean. So we are all moving towards the ocean. Actually, he talked about that ocean idea. So we find that this 1893 is the modern era. We can find that it is the beginning of the World Parliament. Just its significance, the Parliament is considered a landmark event. After that, and Swami Vivekananda's speech, and days after days talking about the harmony and interfaith movement actually started, gain its momentum. And this event actually started the interfaith dialogue, marks the first formal gathering and representatives from different religions on a global stage. It sparked interest in interfaith activities, led to the ground for future initiatives. And then just to refer that this world afterwards, it was in 1902, 1893, that was the first World Parliament. Then World Congress of Faith started in 1936, founded in London by Sir Francis Younghusband. This organization aimed to promote dialogue and cooperation among different religious traditions. Impact of 1893 was percolated, and in World Congress of Faith in 1936 in London, there was one dialogue organized. World Council of Churches, 1948, although primarily a Christian organization, the World Council of Churches has been involved in interfaith dialogue, especially in the latter half of the 20th century, engaging with other religious traditions. Second Vatican Council, 1962 to 1965, Catholic Churches, Second Vatican Council, particularly in its document Nostra Aetate, what is called Aetata, Nostra Aetate, emphasized the importance of a dialogue with non-Christian religion for the first time. That is a remarkable step by what Francis Pope or who was there. During that time, in the respect of the faith, that he's opened this door. The other religions are also recognizing other religions. Actually, in the Second Vatican Council, that's a remarkable story. That there are importance of dialogue with the non-Christian religions and promoted respect for other faiths. This was a significant movement in the Christian interfaith engagement. And we are really connected with Christian dialogues and in interfaith discussions. National Hindu-Catholic dialogue, we are a part of that. And every center of our United States is connected with interfaith, interreligious dialogue and discussion. It's an after effect of that 1893, that Parliament of Religions. So it is percolating into the society, and I see that wherever I go, most of the places I go, in the United States, we find that there is so many interfaith and interreligious groups sitting together. Religious leaders are sitting together, trying to understand the commonality of the ground of our, and where we differ and where we meet. So interfaith centers, organization, another, throughout the 20th century, various interfaith organizations and centers are established, such as the Temple of Understanding in 1963, in United Religious Initiative 2000, in Parliament of World Religions, revived in 1993, and it goes on in every 2-3 years from one place to another, sometimes in Canada, sometimes we attended World Parliament in that way. But main thing that this is a wonderful attempt to unite the diversity. I mean, actually, diversity is not the problem. Diversity adds flavor. But diversity should be on the ground of oneness. If the oneness is forgotten, then diversity is all wrong. So the people professing spirituality in different traditions, they are not putting foundational unity. On the ground of unity, all diverse things are beautiful. On the ground of the sky, all the different coloring of the, the clouds, creates beauty. Even patched clouds here and there, it creates beauty. But the ground should be there. So the ground of knowledge, ground of love and compassion should be there. That is the Vedantic unity. And then on the ground, on that it can be created a nation, a country, a new world where people can live with joy and peace. So interfaith movement as we know it today began. Today's interfaith movement, we know it began in the late 19th century with the global 1893 Parliament of World Religions. Since then, it has expanded to a global movement that promotes the dialogue, cooperation, and understanding among different religious traditions. The movement continues to evolve, addressing both spiritual, social concerns in an increasingly interconnected world. And how to find that unity that also works to the interfaith, I'll think about that. It is by Swami Vivekananda, as he took the greater role, not only in the spiritual realm, but in the global civilization, his vision, global brotherhood. Vivekananda envisioned a world where different religions contribute to the moral and spiritual progress of humanity, paving the way for a global civilization based on mutual respect. That is one important contribution of Swami Vivekananda. Ramakrishna said, how can this distinction, caste distinction, which is always blamed, India is caste distinction. The whole world has caste distinction. How this distinction can go away? How this distinction can go away? That Holy Ramakrishna said, only by becoming a devotee of God. His formula is very simple. Devotees has no caste. We are all devotees. Which country we belong? This Ramakrishna mission is an example. Ramakrishna mission, we are monks. We are from which background? All types of background. You can get a Brahmin background, you can get a warrior background, you can businessman background, you can have the labor class background, whatever we don't find. But we are bhakta. We may be American, we may be Russian, we may be Chinese, we may be Japanese, we may have anything. It's not the criterion. Bhakta, bhakta, bhakta. We are a devotee of God, lover of God. And that is the point of integrity. That is the interfaith movement should lead to that. We love God. Where is the difference? You call him, Ramakrishna's great example, giving the example that people are drinking water from the same pond. One is drinking, he says, water. Another is saying aqua. Another is saying pani. Another is saying jal. But are these all different? All are quenching their thirst. So, that God is to quench our thirst of life, of suffering, of pain, to get out of that. That is God. So, to create a new world civilization, global civilization, breaking this barrier, thinking how only become a bhakta, lover of God. You love God, I love God, finish. What is my color, your color? Secondary. But human mind is not so fine, it goes into making always this distinction and superiority of me. Wherever I works, my superiority, I am better than you always. In every field of life, I am better than you, my philosophy is better than you, my understanding is better than you, and we get stuck there and we lose our inner peace and tranquility. So here, this Swami Vivekananda, impact of the 1893 situation came back, and he wanted a global situation. That's why we find that Swami Vivekananda is coming in this country, so creating one unity. When he is going to the restaurants to eat something, because of his black color and turban and all these things, no restaurant is opening the door for him. And they're just rejecting him. He's hungry, he wants to eat something, but could not, because he's thought like that of a African American. Then somebody said, why did you not say, Swami, you are Indian? He says, what? To be great by belittling another? That means I am greater than African American, so I am higher. I am not, so you open the door for me, I am Indian. Why did you not say? He didn't like it because he did not want that to be superior to other than the person who is in societal situation. He was ignored by the society in the white class, black class. So here, this is the global situation. That's why Ramakrishna's philosophy, the devotees have no class. They are a class by themselves, world-class citizen. There we are all together. Whatever may be the caste, creed, whatever may be thing, love God, pray to God, find your peace in your heart, and we are all together. That is the real interfaith. So he did that, tried. He wanted the synthesis. Vivekananda's greatest contribution is in the interfaith and other things is that to take the best. What Islam is special? What is the speciality in Christianity? If the Hindus can learn from that and adapt in their life, if the Muslim can take what is good in Islam, Christianity, or what is good in Hinduism, and take that part and enrich themselves. That's the meaning of interfaith. Interfaith is not criticism. Interfaith is not showing power to kill somebody and show the superiority on others. So this is the East and West synthesis. That was his another contribution. Vivekananda advocated for a synthesis of Eastern spiritual wisdom and Western material progress together. One person, a street beggar, cannot be free to think of God because he is starving. He does not want to renounce. Situation has forced him and making a beggar. And sannyasi is also a beggar. The monk is a beggar. But there is a difference of attitude. So one should be materially prosperous, at the same time spiritually prosperous. Can it not be done? Take the best of East and best of West. Take the philosophical part, highest Vedantic concept, consciousness behind all of us. All our expression are an expression of Satchidananda, that which is inside us. That idea, keep that highest Vedantic idea, and use your mental force and intellectual force and physical force to have a good living, good earning, good house, and make a balance of that too. Exceptional people may be becoming a monk, that's a different thing. They can give up everything and be street beggar. That's a different choice. In India you go, millions will be in the street. But they are all monks. They don't care for anything, what is going on anywhere. They have little food they can eat. If they don't get, that's also okay. They can lie under the tree. They can, under the sky thy roof. Their roof is not this roof. The sky is the roof. Grass thy bed. There is no bed. Foam, this much thick bed. That is on the grass. And they lie down in the grass and they're happy. These are few people. But for general masses of Eastern and Western countries, there should be total development. And actually he did it. He wanted to have the technology to go to India. And he brought this Vedanta to this country, which it is a boon, because we needed that. Because we have something to eat, some roof on our head, some fun and joy of life, then we need something more, and spirituality. That was his contribution. Interfaith education. Vivekananda's emphasis on education of the masses, including the idea of interfaith education, where individuals learn about and respect other religions. That was his another project, that interfaith education. Interfaith is not just intellectual, but education. The children should be taught. We are all children of God. One voice should be there in whatever language. If that interfaith idea penetrates into the mind of the young generation, the world will be different. And religion means love, compassion, holiness, purity, sacrifice. These are called religion. Others are irreligion. Swami Vivekananda says selfishness is death. Unselfishness is God. So forget about what religion you belong. We don't need that. Take the values of life and integrate there. Vedantic understanding of oneness of Brahman, that's the highest talk. In material plane also, we can utilize that. That was Swami Vivekananda's concept. You read the lectures from Colombo to Almora when he's speaking about the India's development. How much emotion he is adding. Why you should be poor, why you should be lying down. Come up, get up, have your own living and stand on your own feet. Learn from West how they are progressing. Go to Japan, see how the country is progressing. He's asking, you are all sitting in your own corner, and go to the West, learn and see how the world is manifesting their power and energy in a positive direction. And here they sing, you are all materialistic, go for spirituality. In this country, Vedanta, 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 know thyself, know thyself. You are divine, you are pure, you are pure. That is the hammering message of Swami Vivekananda. So the best of these two countries, Swamiji's interfaith production is that. And how can you promote? They said, don't talk about religion. come to the practical point. Practical point is what? Idea of serving humanity as a common ground where all religions can unite. See, Hindus, Muslims, Christians, Jews, in philosophical point comes, they can fight. And that may be brutal. Country after country can be destroyed, bombed, hospitals lost, everything can be done because of religion. But bring the point, in Interfaith we do that. Okay? Let us take a subject. We'll build house. We do that. There is, from our Vedanta society, our devotees go, Swami Vivekananda goes, to build house for the homeless, for the poor people. And then there Hindus come, Christians come, Muslims come, there is no conflict. So at least unite in a level where you can find unity. And deeper unity of the soul, unity of the soul. But that interfaith should penetrate into action, and that should be manifested in our life. That's why the serving humanity, higher ideal as God, that's a different thing. At least serving humanity as a common ground where all religions can unite, a principle that guides many interfaith initiatives today. That's why they act together. Feeding of the homeless, soup kitchen, this, that. Our Santa Barbara, we are doing that, going to soup kitchen for the last 30, 40 years. So participating with the Christians and others. No? So this is the way how interfaith can be practiced in life to bring harmony and not dissension. So Swami Vivekananda's beautiful address is that why we disagree. Swami Vivekananda gave a very simple example in that talk on the 15th September. I will tell you a little story. You have heard the eloquent speakers who had just finished say, let us cease from abusing each other. One of the speakers spoke in the platform. And he said, and he was very sorry that there should be always so much variance. And the speaker was talking that variance is not good. So much variety should not be there. One religion should be there. That's the main intention. But Swami Vivekananda says, but I think I should tell you a story which would illustrate the cause of this variance. A frog lived in a well, that story of frog. It had lived there for a long time. It was born there, brought up there, and yet has a little small frog. It's a frog born as frog. He didn't go anywhere. He has no outside exposure. So she lived in that well, and he is. Of course, the evolutionists were not there then to tell us whether the frog lost his eyes or not. But for your story's sake, we must take it for granted that it has its eyes and that it every day cleans water, all, etc., etc. So one day, another frog that lived in the sea came and fell into the well. Where are you from? I am from the sea. The sea? How big is that? It is is it big as my well? And he took a leap from one side of the well to the another side. My friend, said the frog of the sea, how do you compare the sea with your little well? Then the frog took another leap and asked, is your sea so big? And what nonsense you speak to compare the sea with your well. Then, then says a frog of the well, nothing can be bigger than my well. There cannot be nothing bigger than this. This fellow is a liar, so turn him out. That has been the difficulty all the while. I am a Hindu. I am sitting in my own little well and thinking that the whole world is my little well. The Christian sits in his little well and thinks that the whole world is his well. The Mohammedans sit in this little well and think that is the whole world. I have to thank you, America, for this great attempt you are making to break down the barriers of this little world of ours, and hope that in future the Lord will help you to accomplish the purpose. So it's a beautiful statement why we differ. And difference should be there. And I will rather take these two ideas, what I wanted to say at the beginning, that this interfaith movement was preached in the scriptures. In Hindu scriptures we find such references. In the Mundaka Upanishad, that verse I started today, where you said that as the different streams merge into the ocean, that idea. We find that in the Bhagavad Gita, we find that it is said, Ye yatha mang prapaddante tang sathaiva vajamaham mama vartma anuvartante manusya partha sarvasa. Meaning, whosoever comes to me through whatever form or whatever path, I reach him. All men and women are struggling through the paths which in the end lead to me, M capital. Whoever is going to any other path, they are leading to me, their capital. We find this is the Gita. If we find in the Shiva Mahimna Stotra, there is beautiful verse, it is chanted in many, we go to many interfaith and places, we normally like this very important verse, how they find the unity. It says, may the Lord of the universe, the remover of all evils, whom the Shiva devotees worship as Lord Shiva, the Vedantins called as Brahman, the Buddhists as Buddha, the followers of Nyaya philosophy who are expert in logic, worship the same reality as agent, devotees of the joint doctrine, worshipping as Arhat, the rituals of the Mimamsaka school are thinking as karma, or as Father in the heaven by the Christians. And this is added. It may be get out, because it is not in that verse. So what it says, may the Lord of the universe, the remover of all evil, whom the Shiva devotees are calling as Shiva, same reality as Ramakrishna says, all are drinking water, but different names only, difference in the name. So he says that young Shaiva Samupasate Shiva, those who are Shaivites, they worship God as Shiva. And their Shiva is the only God. But Brahmeti Vedantino, Vedanta students say it is Brahman. Buddhaha, the Buddhists say is Buddha, state of Buddha, Bodhisattva. Pramana Patavakarteti Nayayika, the logicians, Nayayiks, they are talking at that who can prove very logically the Karta, the agent, the whole universe is run by an agent. Or Arhat, the Jain people call him as Arhat, the terminology. And karma iti Mimamsaka. Mimamsaka philosophers say it is karma. So I am, that reality, that truth, no vidodhatu, give us our cherished banchita phalam, give us our cherished goal, Trilokha Natho Hari. And then I call him, oh Natho, Lord Hari, you are the Nath of the three words. And this word, that word, that word. That means we are all worshipping, that unity is there, given there. Another verse is there also. We find it is about 1500 years. Its origin is medieval period, about 1200 years ago. This verse comes from Hanuman Astakam, Hanuman Natakam. And then we find Shiva Mahimna Stotra, and everyone does that Shiva. It is that verse says, the 7th verse of the Shiva Mahimna says, various are the paths laid down in the scriptures. such as the one enjoined by the three Vedas, the Sankha of the Kapila, the Yoga of Patanjali, the Pasupata where Shiva is supreme, and the Vaishnava where Vishnu is supreme. Of the same people take one or the same psalm to another, saying this is the best, the ideal one. Devotees follow these diverse paths, some straight, some winding, according to their different tastes and traditions. But they yet, O Lord, you alone are the ultimate goal of all human beings. All reach you alone, like the different rivers entered into the same ocean finally. So see, all the ancient scriptures are mentioning about the harmony in interfaith. So from ancient time, this harmony and peace is the nature. You look at the nature, how normally, unless there is a storm, look at the nature, how calm and serene. When you get up in the morning, look at the nature, how everything is calm and serene in this town. Upanishad, that's why I say, Dhyayoti vo prithivi, Dhyayanti vo deva, Dhyayanti vo manushya loka, etc. Everything is meditating. Look at the mountain, look at the ocean, look at the sky, look at this, every environment, trees, plants, everyone is meditating, calm and serene and peace. That is the nature of ours. Disturbance comes because of our ignorance. And that in ignorance we separate out ourselves. So therefore, this Vivekananda and this contribution to the modern interfaith movement is tremendous. But how this can be exercised, that is this Swami Vivekananda gave the ideal. The common ground should be that one reality we are worshipping, one common love, compassion, holiness, purity. This has to be developed to find that unity. That's why you find all the saints of all religion, how they are so kind for every human being. Whichever Sufi mystic you go to the Christian mystics, you go to the Hindu mystics, you look at them, go to them, they're full of love and compassion. They have nothing to take away from anything, but to give how much peace, solace they can give to everyone, because they have developed that interfaith understanding. Their life is interfaith. It becomes interfaith. If one moves spiritually and loves God and tries to understand not the truth, understand the truth of spiritual practice and purpose of spiritual life, to reach that peace and harmony and joy and unwavering love for everyone, unconditional love for everyone. So that should be the ground of interfaith. And Swami Vivekananda, trained from Ramakrishna, that is coming from tradition of thousands of years in the past. India has lived that life. India has produced so many wonderful saints because of this interfaith understanding. You may differ with me, matters little. Let you live in your thought, let me live my thought, but we should not interact. Hindu should be a better Hindu. Swami Vivekananda's interfaith gift, he said, Hindu should be a better Hindu, a Christian should be a better Christian. My Vedanta preaching is to make you understand your religion. Actually, I go to many places, and when I hear many devotees say, come, they are not devotees, maybe coming to some lectures, I can understand my Christ much better after reading this Vedanta. And Vedanta should be that, and Vedanta is the key solution of all conflict, because that is the only underground unity of oneness. And everyone should practice in their way, understanding it is the goal is that oneness. And that oneness is only source of joy and peace and harmony, and that makes the life meaningful. Otherwise it is all struggle and useless, spending energy and death. Ultimate life's purpose is forgotten, and leading a worthless life in the name of religion and not making any progress in spiritual life. So interfaith, we should be interfaith. Each one, Vivekananda wanted that, we should be interfaith. That's why Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, Bhaktas, you are all, it is not difficult for you to understand that all religions are really moving towards the goal. But it is not so easy to go to another religion which is doctrinated religion, to accept others' existence, others' values, others' purpose. And that religion is also valid to lead you to experience of the highest. So this is the necessary condition for the present age. The world is suffering, though he said, Swami Vivekananda said at the end of this first lecture, I say, the present, I say, at the end, what he says, I conclude my talk here. He said, the present convention, he is giving that talk on the 11th Tariq, September. And he is talking about that. He said, this present convention, which is one of the most august assemblies ever held, is itself a vindication, a declaration to the world of the wonderful doctrine preached in the Bhagavad Gita. Whosoever comes to me through whatsoever form I reach him, all men are struggling through paths which in the end lead to me. Quote ends. Sectarianism, bigotry, and its horrible descendant fanaticism have long possessed this beautiful earth. They have filled the earth with violence, drenched it often and often with human blood, destroyed civilization, and sent the whole nation to despair. Had it not been for these horrible demons, human society would be far more advanced than it is now. But that time is come, and I fervently hope that the bell that tolled this morning in honor of this convention may be the death knell of all fanaticism, of all persecution with sword or with pen, and of all uncharitable feelings between persons wending their way to the same goal. That was the conclusion of Swami Vivekananda's speech. So it's still how fire is here, you can understand. And when it came out of his mouth, how was it then? Thank you. So tomorrow is Labor Day, no? So you are all welcome to join us. We celebrate the Labor Day Around 10 o'clock we start by reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, the entire book, about 1,000 pages maybe. Around 1,000 pages. We all together read and finish the reading of the Gospel together. So please come and join. And tomorrow also our Swami from Belur Math has come, Vice President Maharaj. He will be,
Swami
Divyananda will be here, and he will also speak at the end of the program. And past 10 o'clock we read, up to lunch we read, and all will have lunch prasad here. And then afternoon we have some devotees.
2:30 p.m.
And 2:30 p.m. after lunch we come back here, and we have we want to hear about 11 devotees will be speaking what they read in the Gospel and talk about that something, and we will be learning from different views of Gospel angle, how the Gospel is viewed by different devotees, different angle. And then at the end there will be some music also, chanting, some chanting, some music at the end, and Swamiji will be speaking here. He is the Vice President of the Ramakrishna Order, so please join us. And next Sunday, as a part of 125th anniversary of Vivekananda's coming to Los Angeles, the same Swami will be, Swami Divyananda, Vice President, will be speaking Sunday lecture, next Sunday lecture, dedicated to 125th year of conclusion of the coming of Swamiji. And the topic will be friend, Swami Vivekananda, friend of all. Swami Vivekananda, friend of all. And Saturday, I request you to go to our Trabuco. Saturday, this is Saturday, 75th year anniversary of Swami Vivekananda's. Now that Trabuco monastery given to us, to the Vedanta Society. So program will start around 10 o'clock, 10:30, and Swami Vice President Maharaj will be there also to speak, but the small program is there, and we all will be having prasad, so you should come, like 4th of July we enjoy, so you all come and tell your friends to go over there. So by 10:30 the program starts. It will be over maybe 4:30, 5 o'clock. By first part talks and some introductory talk, and later part will be some bhajan singing, and lunch will be all served there. So these are the two important. So I will request you to come. This is the 75th year anniversary of Trabuco Monastery. 7th, next day here on the 8th, as 125th year of Swami Vivekananda's coming, and both where the Swami will be speaking. Anything I miss? Okay, so then we will, after greeting, we will be in the book library. So please come over there. We can have some question answer. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu.